Hey guys, it is Michael Internet Pro. I have a very new program that I want to show you. I want to talk to you about. As I mentioned on the other channel, the investment channel, make sure guys that you jump over to the investment channel and subscribe over there because all of the details going forward are going to be on that channel. But I'm making this video really quick for this channel so you guys know about it as well. This is goldmoney.com. Okay, what we're getting into is how to change and flip our Bitcoin money into gold. Okay, powerful guys, super powerful. Now what we're going to be doing is just like it says, just taking gold, Bitcoin, and buying and purchasing gold and saving it in a vault. Okay, it's amazing what we can do nowadays online. Okay, so what we want to do is there's 3 different levels that you can come here and you can choose which one you feel suits you best. Okay, based on your circumstances. Wealth is the highest level. You actually have a minimum amount that you need to put in here. I believe it's 6 figures. It's pretty high. So this is for you know, those who want to put in, I think, over $100,000, but you might want to double check on that one. Business, there's no minimum. The same as personal, no minimum. Okay, you have free storage and insurance up to 1,000 grams. They're pretty much the same, except this one gives you a business Mastercard, and this one gives you a gold money Mastercard. Okay, purchase protection, you get seller purchase protection sales on gold money verified accounts. So I think the business is basically for businesses that want to get involved, they want to buy large amounts of gold and different things like that from their business, their LLC, their incorporation, whatever. And for personal, it's like, you know, me and you who just want to do this probably, you know, in our leisure and that type of thing. So it's not too much difference between those two. But the wealth one, I believe you have to have 6 figures before you get in there. Okay, it says multiple funding redemption options including credit and debit cards, free gold money Mastercard. Now this is really unique, guys. They give you a debit card that you can use. You can pull out money from, you know, from, I guess, like, you could swipe it and use it just like you would your normal regular bank account. Okay, and your regular debit card. So that's pretty unique and that's pretty convenient. You get purchase protection on all purchases from gold money sellers. Okay, so what to do, you just click on this part where it says open up a free account. Okay, okay, and here it's just really simple, self-explanatory. You just fill out all this stuff, choose your country, and click on I agree, slide that over, and then I am not a robot. Fill out your email, your password. You will have to confirm your password, and not your password, but you have to confirm your email. They'll send you like a little email really quick. Now, of course, I already have my account, so I can't actually type this in for you right now, but I'll go ahead and log into my account so you can see the back office and what that is looking like. Cool. Okay, it usually makes this like little sound when you come in and let you know you're inside. As you're seeing here, you might see some things kind of blurred out. I have a couple referrals because I just started to promote this yesterday. First deposit bonus, make your first deposit within the next 5 days. So when you open up your account, guys, they're going to give you a 10% bonus up to 1 gram of gold. Okay, for 6 days. So you have like a countdown, and you have within 6 days to make your purchase, and you can receive 10% on your gold. Okay, so if the gold, for example, costs 40, I think 1 gram right now is $43. You're going to receive 10% off of that. Okay, for up to 1 gram. Okay, and let's see, I think 23 grams equals 1 ounce. I think 23, but don't hold me to that. You might want to check, but I think it's around 20 something grams equal an ounce. So that'll let you know an ounce is worth like what is it? I might be off about that. Let me see. Is it 28 grams? 10 times 43 equals 12. Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. It's right now, yeah, because it's fluctuating so much. Right now, an ounce of gold is about 1,300. So you know, that's about right. Okay, so it's about 20 something. I think about 28 grams equals an ounce of gold. And you know, that's where you really want to be. You want to have, you know, a couple ounces of gold, a couple $1,000s worth of gold, and once gold starts to really move up, you know, and starts really, you know, once the fiat currency starts to drop, gold is going to get very expensive. So that means that even with no, I won't say a falling or failing economy, you will basically be blah, 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 blah. You will be protecting your money. Okay, so for an example, if you have 10 grand that you want to protect from falling fiat currency price, you know, the dollar is falling, the euro is falling, and what that means, in layman's terms, what happens when the dollar begins to fall, your purchasing power then begins to get weaker. So those box of Q-tips are that used to be $1.50 are now $1.90 or $2.70. And you're like, well, how in the world are the prices going up? Well, the prices aren't actually going up. The prices are still the same. Okay, because everything is, it's still the same, but the purchasing power of the dollar is going down. Okay, because there's too much debt, there's too many dollars flowing around the system, and that's kind of how the way it works. Now, when real money is gold, okay, the true money is gold. So dollars were just a certification of you putting your gold in the bank. So you, back a long time ago, you used to take your gold to a bank, and then they would give you a certification or certificate saying that you placed your gold. It's like a receipt inside the bank, because you didn't want to carry these large amounts of heavy gold around. So it was like, okay, this is what you're worth. Gold has always been the standard of worth since time began, and silver was the same way. Okay, and so a man's worth, woman's worth was based on gold, how much gold and how much silver they had. Okay, because back then your worth was based on those metals in the earth. Okay, and when people had all this type of stuff, they kept it in their house and stuff. But of course, you had a lot of bank robberies. People were going around robbing people. And if you watch like some old westerns and stuff, you can see how when someone was getting robbed with a shotgun or something like that, they would say, where's your safe? Where's your gold? Where's your silver? And they would go into the person's house at gunpoint and make them go give them their silver. Okay, so at some point, robberies were really, really, big. They were going on, and guys were going from house to house robbing people. So people decided it would be safer if they would take the gold and their possessions and put them in a vault or in a bank, and then that way it could be guarded, and that type of thing. Okay, so they start to take their money to the banks and stuff like that, and so the bank would give them a receipt saying, okay, yeah, you got you got 10,000 bars of gold in here. So they would give them a receipt, and so it basically would, if the person needed any type of money, they could then take that receipt and give it to another person. Okay, and so this is kind of how it all came to be, and then that person would know that the person had that money to trade with. Okay, so that's really like the beginnings, layman's terms, and then people start to trade the bills, and so bills came out and all that kind of stuff, and people start trading bills among each other, and it was all connected. It was supposed to all be tied to their personal amount of gold inside of a vault. Okay, but that all changed. They eventually took the currency, they left the currency in the system, and people still used it, but it was no longer connected to a person's individual account or that bank's amount or anything. It's not connected at all. It comes from a bank, it's printed from a printing press, but it no longer has any real worth of value. Okay, so now what you are, just to help you understand, you're a person walking around with a lot of fake money in their pocket. Because you say, well, Michael, why would you say fake money? It's real money, but it's not connected to the gold like it's supposed to. So to help you out, you're supposed to have that gold that's connected to the money that's in your pocket. So if you have 10,000 in the bank, but yet you don't have the gold that's connected to it, this money isn't really worth anything. And that's why it keeps going down. That's why everything keeps getting more expensive, because you don't have the gold that goes with it. Now, if you have the gold that goes with it, it's connected to the monopoly paper money in your pocket. Then when this starts to act funny, like you start to go out and you say, well, I'm trying to get, this bread, but it's like $2 more. Well, all you need to do is just go get a piece of gold or silver out of your bank, okay, and go to someone and sell it. And then you will get more money. You actually get more fiat currency to buy that bread. I hope that makes sense. So, because your money will keep increasing. I can put it. The more that bread goes up, the more your silver will be able to match it. Okay, so I'll put it like this. Keep this real simple. Yeah. If this is some bread in the bakery, let's say in January 2014, it costs $1.50 for this loaf of bread. Fast forward to March 2016. The same bread now costs $3.40. Okay. Now, did the bread's cost actually rise? No. The bread's cost is still the same, although it's it's printed and it's different, it's a different label. But what actually happened was the fiat currency is actually going down. So the bread cost to you appears to seem as if it's risen. So instead of $1 now you need and 50 cents, you need now 2 of its friends. Okay. So if you're at a job and the job pays you, let's say $20 an hour, and you haven't gotten any raise or anything like that, now instead of, let's say you have to buy this bread like 4 times a month, or no, 7 times a month. Okay. So what would have cost you about $9 is now going to cost you about $30. Okay. I'm just really guesstimating all this. Okay. So instead of paying $9 a month, you're going to pay $30. Okay. So that's 1 hour gone off of your work. It's just taken from you, given to the bread itself. Okay. Because you can see that, right? There's a 30 in it. So 1 full hour you're working just for your bread. 1 full hour you're working for some loaf of bread. Whereas before it was only $9. So that was only like a few minutes of your time at work. Does that make sense? Now just apply that over every item that you buy. So from your butter to your Q-tips to your toilet paper to your socks to your pants to your soda to your I don't know, alcohol, to your potato chips, to your when you eat out at fast food restaurant, whatever you do, your pizza, your night out with the fellas, and you're buying around, or whatever the case may be. All of these purchases are now affected the same way the bread was affected. And so now how you used to make $20 an hour is going to feel, you're going to be left with less money at the end of the month. So it's going to feel like you're making less money. So in all actuality, that's what's happening in America, especially. I can't really speak about Europe. I think the same things are happening there too, but I don't live there. So this is the reason why it's sneaky. I can basically sneaky. Most people don't understand what's going on. So back in 2000 and let's say back in 2002, a $20 an hour job left this guy with let's say it left him with $5,000 in his bank account at the end of the month, buying 45 items at the store throughout the month. Let's just say it, just put it like that, all his expenses. Fast forward this same guy to 2016, and that same $20 an hour will only leave him with $500. Okay, do you understand now why? Because everything has risen. People call it inflation. Okay, inflation means it's too much money is in the system. Okay, they're making too much fiat currency, and it causes a lot of inflation. Okay, and this is all layman's terms. So what's happening is there's well, I can't say what I want to say. So we're gonna leave it at that. So you might brag and boast and say, oh, I make $30 an hour, I make $15 an hour, but it's all relative, because that same $20 and $30 an hour 10-15 years ago was something to brag about, because it left you with $5,000 or $10,000 in the bank where you could go out and buy a nice car, you could buy a nice house. But now you're probably making $20 an hour, but for some reason you can't understand where it's all going. Okay, well, it's a little trick's been played on you. Okay, because by increasing everything that you buy, okay, it leaves you with nothing. And now what they also have done is increase taxes. So when they increase taxes, and whether it's FICA, whether it's Social Security, whether it's everything, all those things are getting increased, as well as insurance and everything else, then you're left with this measly little small amount. You can barely get ahead, and you're wondering why. So the majority of people do not do any type of financial analytics or any type of accounting or anything. They usually don't even understand how much money they spend. They just spend frivolously, all feeling really proud about the fact that they make $20 or $30 an hour, not understanding that they really are not making that money at all. Now, if you really get down to brass tacks and you do the math between what happened between 2002 and 2016 and the price changes, this person actually only makes like $9 an hour, but they don't realize it. In comparison to what this person made. If this person and everything he bought never changed up to 2016, and it was compared to this person with the changing in prices, he actually made the true $20 an hour, where this person is now only making $9 an hour because of the inflation and the rise in price and the weakening of their dollar. Does that make sense? So anytime bread rises and all of your staples, okay, all of your staples rise, that's a big warning sign. I'm not talking about like if car prices rise and all. When your staples, the things that you need and not want, but the things you have to survive in order to live and not die, when your staples begin to rise, then you're in a very bad recession, depression, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is what's going on in the world, and most people are okay. But for those who are in the understanding, they have made a lot of investments and different things to cover themselves. Okay, so Michael, why you tell me all that? Because this is the reason why we need to have gold. Gold will keep you from having your rug swept out from under you. When you have gold in the bank, when you take your fiat currency and turn it into gold, even when everything rises around you, gold protects you from the rising prices. Okay, let me draw this out as well. With gold, that's not how I want to look. Okay, with your bar of gold, let's say this is your bar of gold right here. You are going to save yourself. Let's say this is worth 10 grand. It's a bar of gold. Let's say it's worth 10 grand of your money. Okay, $10,000. This money, its worth would be going down, as like how we said before, the inflation was going up. Okay, and bread is now $4. Okay, when bread is now $4, of course you can't get as much bread out of this 10 grand as when bread was $1. Okay, now again, we take that over like the 200 purchases you're gonna make a month, every month for the next year, which is it's like 2,000 purchases you're gonna make in the different stores, all these different items that you buy. Well, that's gonna chop away at this 10 grand a lot faster than it would if if the prices weren't rising, if they were staying the same and steady. What gold does is it protects the 10 grand. Okay, so by turning this $10,000 of fiat currency into gold, it protects it from the rising price. So no matter how high it rises. Now what we do is we look at this over a very long term. We don't look at gold for right now, next month, next year, 5 years from now, or anything like that. We look at gold for like the end of our life, or like 20 years from now, at least 20 years from now. So for example, let's say you're 25 years old listening to me. You're 25 years old, okay, or you're young. And you're listening to all this stuff like that, and you're saying, well, I want to protect my 10 grand. I want to protect my money. So when you're 45, okay, what's going to happen is that bread, let's say the bread is $2.20 right now. By the time you're 45, that bread could possibly be $7 because of inflation rising. Okay, because you're talking about half of a generation. You're talking about 20 years from now. So it's a very long time from now. The money but from 25 to 45, the next 20 years, you're steady buying gold. You're steady buying gold. So by the time you get to be 45, okay, you have bought anywhere between $10,000 to $100,000 worth of gold. Okay, so now you have protected. But what's going to happen is, as the dollar begins to go down, this price is going to go up. So that when this now is worth, okay, right now it's worth 10 grand. By the time, if you did a comparison, by the time you get 45, this actual 10,000 might only be worth like 4,500. Okay, that's how much you would lose on it. Okay, so what's going to happen is, because everything is going down and the dollar is going down, this actual gold will increase by 45. So that in order to, like when you resell it, it's actually going to be like, say you had $100,000, or let's keep it at 10,000. It's going to turn into like $75,000. Okay, so it's going to increase like 7 times. I'm just giving you like an estimation just to help you understand. So basically, you would have a locked in 75,000, and the only thing you did was buy like 1 gram for 10K, and you turned it into a $75 amount. So now you can go out and buy as much bread as you want, but here you could barely buy any bread. Okay, so 2 things were happening. Gold is going up and the dollar is going down. So 2 of those things. So the dollar is only worth now, those 10 grand is only worth 4,500, and now the gold is worth 75. So where would you rather be? Okay, so you say, well, it's really an investment for long-term planning, and that type of thing. But what's going to happen is, the analysts say about silver is that silver is going to make a huge jump. Now, gold is not just dependent on what fiat currency does. It's a lot of other things involved, and it gets real technical. But here's the thing: it's about mining, and if they can find it, and all that kind of stuff. But what's going to happen with silver is going to go sky high, and analysts are saying it's going to be as high as gold soon. Right now, silver, I think it's $20, $23 or something like that an ounce. It's something really, really cheap. Okay, and it fluctuates between 13 to 20, and it goes back and forth, throughout the years and stuff like that. But it's really cheap. It's under $50. So you can get an ounce of silver for under $50. You can get a lot of it. So let's say you get like 10. Let's say you get 1,000 ounces, okay, or $13,000 worth of silver. Okay, when it goes sky high and it gets up to, let's say, $500 an ounce, for example, then you would have to do the difference, of course. But that would be, you would take 500 and divide it by 50. That would be like 10 times the amount. So if you bought it for 13,000, now your 13,000 becomes 130,000. Okay, so this is what people are going to do. And if you just don't touch it and you leave it alone, that will even and keep increasing. So that by the time you get to like 50 and you want to go and just live your life, you might have 250 or $250,000 to basically relax on. Now you can get to maybe age 60. You might have 450 or maybe not that much, but $350,000 after the next 10 years, because it just steady increase. Now what happens now when you're 60, you say, well, I want to retire and live out the rest of my life. Well, guess what? You have a savings that you can do that on, okay? Because this money has stayed strong. So now you don't have to work another day in your life, and you can just live the rest of your life just chilling, because you've bought so much gold that you just, anytime you need money, you go to your vault, you ask him for the gold or the silver, whatever, and you go to a gold and silver trader, and he gives you fiat currency back for it, and you can live on that for the rest of your life, okay? And while you're spending that money, a portion of your money, that gold and silver that you still have, is steady increasing, okay? So now I hope that makes sense. This is the reason why we have to buy gold and silver. It's for our old age. It's for when we get, it's from 20 years now. Now, if you're already 50 and 60 listening to me, it's okay. Still, try to get some gold and silver, because we don't know when it's actually going to make its major increases, but a lot of analysts say it's going to be very soon. So we want to get as much as we can right now, because especially silver, because once it jumps up, it's going to really skyrocket. So get silver, get gold, get those two, okay? So what you want to do is you're going to have to come to deposit, and it's going to say, whoa, you need to verify your account. You're going to give them your ID. Just upload your ID, and it's going to take about a day. They're going to verify you, say you're okay to go, and then you choose one of these 3 options to put your money in and stuff like that. Now this is where Bitcoin is. You go additional options, you'll see cryptocurrency. You click on that, and then click on here, and then you can choose, Dubai is the only one that they have, and after that come to next. And here you just put in your amount. They're going to give you the address. You take your address to your wallet, and then you'll see your Bitcoin in here, and you'll buy your gold, okay? And you can put this on reoccurring, I believe. Okay, so let's say Bitcoin, I want to put 1 Bitcoin in there, okay? So process it, boom, and they're going to give me a time remaining. Here's my thing, and I got to put 1 Bitcoin in there, okay? So that's what I'm about to do, and that's it. And you'll be buying gold, guys, and you'll be protecting your future. That's the key. You want to protect your future. This is long term, when you're old, okay? And that's all. You can also get your prepaid cards. You can transfer gold from one person to another. If they have an account, you can send them gold. That's a way to pay them. You can request gold to be physically sent to you, and you can have the gold in your hands. And what else? You can send gold. It's transactions. You can redeem, and if you want to promote this, you can go to more, and you'll find a link for your promotion. So guys, hopefully everything makes a lot of sense, and you really need to get started with this, okay? Because this is a great place to secure your money, so that no matter what happens economically worldwide, you'll be protected, okay? It's all about protection and preparing and planning and positioning yourself for how they say, come what may, okay? Find the link below, guys. Mike on Internet Pro. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm out.